There is some weather relief in Australia. Cooler weather is easing some of the pressure on crews battling dozens of fires across the southern part of the country. But Prime Minister Scott Morrison is facing a different kind of heat for taking a family vacation to Hawaii in the middle of this disaster. And the criticism doesn't end there. As Abigail Bimman reports, he's facing wrath over his stance on climate change.
But my garden was already on fire here, and the driveway was on fire, and the road was on fire, so I realised I couldn't evacuate.
Steve Harrison survived the blaze by jumping in a kiln he'd built in case he couldn't escape. His plan B.
A coffin-sized kiln, just big enough for me to crawl in, so I hid in there for half an hour while the firestorm went over.
His small village has been nearly wiped out. And even though cooler weather has moved in, providing relief from record-high temperatures, officials believe another 100 buildings were destroyed Sunday.
Fatigue management and the relentless nature of this season is certainly taking a toll, and so too is the geographic spread of the activity.
Prime Minister Scott Morrison is now back home, facing political heat for going on vacation in Hawaii while his country is in crisis.
If you had your time over again and you had the benefit of hindsight, then would have made different decisions.
He apologized and addressed the other criticism he's facing: inaction on climate change. Teen activist Greta Thunberg weighed in on Twitter, saying catastrophes like the Australian fires don't lead to political action because the connection between the climate crisis and extreme events isn't being made.
Our government has always, and I have always, acknowledged the connection between these weather events and these broader fire events and the impacts globally of climate change. It's one of many factors.
Morrison also met with Canadian and American firefighters who are missing Christmas at home to help overseas.
I'll be making sure to pass on my personal thanks directly to Prime Minister Trudeau and President Trump.
The 51 Canadian firefighters come from right across the country. According to Natural Resources Canada, half are from BC and Alberta. The 9 from Ontario include aviation specialists. There's cooler weather right now, but more heat is in the forecast later this week, and there's a long road ahead to fighting these fires. The 2 Canadian contingents will stay in Australia for about a month each, with plans underway to relieve the first group in early January. Abigail Bimman, Global News, Ottawa.
Bushfire season is an annual occurrence across Australia, but this year is rivaling some of the worst seasons on record, particularly in New South Wales. So far this season, bushfires in the state have scorched at least 2.7 million hectares. The worst year on record was 1974, when the state saw 3.5 million hectares of land go up in flames.